Trigger warning. Depending on your level of sanity and common sense, this video may annoy you. You have been warned.
These are the guys who cry about misandry. These are the ones who whine about being too lonely. And these are the guys who think they're natural leaders and they beg women to submit to them and demand it because they think it's the natural order of things. These are the guys who are going to say, well, that's what women wanted. That's what they asked for. That's what feminism is, because they're too stupid to understand the difference between leaving a woman alone when she's out in public and they want to ask her out because they're not entitled to her time, and helping an infirm woman by giving up your seat if you're an able-bodied man. These are the men who don't see women as human beings.
So this is where we are now. This is the so-called gender war. This is it. So you non-consensually recorded 4 men, erased their backstories, humanity, and individuality just to make your own biased point. Are you stupid? 3 of these men are on their phones. The 4th one looks like he is hearing the worst news possible. But you are shaming these men for what? For sitting down when a disabled woman stands? And you are not even shaming them for being unkind. You are imposing your own bias, stereotype, and label on them and shaming them for not living up to that label. Again, you literally have no evidence about the beliefs of these men. You don't know them. Let me repeat that. You don't know them, but you nail your assumptions on them and then shame them for not living up to those assumptions. There are many possible explanations for why someone doesn't act in a moment. They didn't notice what was happening. They're exhausted, injured, or dealing with something themselves. They assume someone else will step in. They're unsure what help is appropriate or safe. You foolishly jumping straight to moral judgment, especially tied to identity, skips all of that complexity. And herein comes this fool.
These are the guys who cry about misandry.
How did you know that, you blue-collared beard imbecile?
These are the ones who whine about being too lonely.
How did you know? How did you know? Jesus fucking Christ. Is this for real? Wait, you see, this is why I hate male feminists. People like this fool are opportunistic actors who capitalize on societal tensions and feminine rage for personal gain, whether that be amassing a larger following, monetizing content, or simply basking in the validation of perceived allyship. It's not enough he had to advocate for women's rights. Nope, he had to pave that road on the back of innocent men who had no idea that they were already guilty in the court of stupid people's opinion. People like this idiot are cunning deployers of feminist rhetoric. Janus-faced champions of women's issues only concerned with praise, affirmation, and approval they probably lacked from their mother in their formative years. They are not interested in a nuanced exploration of women's experience and a genuine push for systemic change. Nah, the content generator in their head only favors the vilification and pathologizing of masculinity, as seen in this comment made by someone in response to the video. You have no idea at all about what these men think or believe. You also have no idea whether they have any disabilities or illnesses, which may prevent them from standing for extended periods of time. Your own internalized bigotry is really shining through on this one. And what was this fool's reply? I hope they pick you.
Bruh.
What? If you are aware of the vocabulary of social media gender war, you would have seen this exact phrase used against women who present nuanced and comprehensive argument in defense of men. It is meant to criticize the motive of the woman, stating that the reason she is making that argument is to be picked by the opposite sex. We agree that labels like alpha male or provider are harmful, toxic constructs that harm us all. But if we agree that these labels are harmful, the consistent position would be to stop judging anyone by those labels at all. But in this situation, the criticism seems to rely on those same labels. You men claim to be X, so why aren't you doing Y? This is contradictory, because on one hand, you are saying that these gendered expectations are toxic and should go. But on the other hand, you are saying that men should still behave according to those expectations when it benefits others. This is not a principled stance. A healthier stance would be any person, regardless practice of gender should help when they reasonably can. Rejecting gender roles in theory, but invoking them when convenient, shows you are not actually a principled person, and you are not actually against gender roles. You just want those roles to be in your interest. If gender roles, constructs, and expectations are bad, don't use them to shame people. If you use them to shame people, or you think even though they are toxic, they should still be used to inspire kindness, you're still relying on them. If we want to move toward a world where kindness is the standard, then the criticism should also be human-centered and context-aware, not selectively tied to identities we supposedly reject.